Coq au vin. This dish needs no introduction. It has been documented as far back as ancient Gaul and Julius Caesar, and today is probably one of the most well-known poultry dishes. It's absolutely delicious, happens to be one of my favorites. Let's begin. So coq actually refers to a rooster, which is the traditional ingredient, but today we're going to use a beautiful chicken. So the first step is to clean our chicken. Take a torch and singe any feathers, quills, hairs. Next, we're going to remove the wishbone. This will make breaking down the chicken much easier. So just find the wishbone with your thumb, go around it with a sharp knife and pull it out. Continue to break down the chicken. I have a separate video on how to break down whole chickens. So if you'd like some further detail, refer to that video, the link is below. Remove the leg and thigh from each side, the wings, then remove the breast meat. So I'd just like to take a moment here while we're working on our chicken. If you are enjoying the video, please like it, subscribe, and if you enjoy our content, consider supporting us on Patreon. The link for Patreon is below. Every little bit helps. So back to our chicken. We have cut our chicken breast into chunks about this size. They're all the same size. We have our leg and thighs separated. We've kept the bone in for more flavor, and the wings and drumettes. The dark meat will take a lot longer to cook than the white meat, so to prevent the white meat from drying out, we're going to add the dark meat first and add the white meat towards the end. So we're going to start by rendering some fat from the skin and browning our chicken. Hot pan, some neutral oil, season all the chicken pieces with salt. So we're going to start with our dark meat here, and when we have a little bit of color, remove from the pan, and then we will do the same with the white meat. So remember to keep the white and dark meat separate. We're not cooking the chicken here, we're just putting a little bit of color on it. So all the chicken pieces should be skin side down in the pan. So a little bit of color, render some of that fat. And especially with the white meat, we don't want to cook this too long. Just quick in and out, a little bit of color. So we're going to keep the white meat in a separate tray, and we're going to put the dark meat directly into a big pot. So we're going to put that aside for now. We're going to take the same pan we colored our chicken in, and whatever you do, don't clean it. We're going to put in some big chunks of carrot, onion, some crushed cloves of garlic, add a tiny bit of salt. Now we're going to take some lardons. So we're just going to sweat these, color them a little bit, and then add them to the pot. We're also going to add a bouquet garni with thyme, parsley stems, and bay leaf. So put this on high heat to start. So we're going to keep our white meat close by in a tray. And we also have some mushrooms, and we're going to add them at the same time as the white meat later. So now we're going to get our wine. We're going to use 2 whole bottles of red wine. It is possible to use white wine or vin jaune for this recipe as well. Add all the wine to the pot. And we're going to simmer this for about half an hour. Also, depending on the type of chicken that you're using, or if you're using another type of poultry, the cooking times may vary, so it's important to check once in a while when you're cooking. Using a paring knife, check your larger pieces of dark meat, and when they're tender, we're going to add our white meat and our mushrooms. The white meat and mushrooms will cook in about 5 minutes or less. Once the white meat and mushrooms are cooked, we're going to remove all of the garnish, all of the meat from the sauce. Put them aside. So we're left with this beautiful sauce bursting with flavor, but it's still too thin to coat our garnish and our meat. So we're going to prepare a thickening agent. We're going to make a roux. It's very simple to make. It's about half butter, half flour. Some chefs just add flour directly to the sauce, but making a roux cooks the flour, adds a bit of color, and will completely melt into the sauce when you stir it in, as opposed to just flour, which can leave clumps. So we're just going to make a blonde roux, half flour, half butter, and put aside to cool. So just cook this for about 1 minute. Also, if you require lots of roux throughout the week, you can make it ahead of time. Keep it in the fridge and use it whenever you want. So we're going to add our cold roux to our hot sauce. We're just going to add 1 spoon at a time. Stir, cook, and you'll see the sauce starting to thicken up. Keep adding a little bit of roux until you get the consistency that you'd like. If you find it's a bit too thick, you can add some stock, a little bit more wine, or even a little bit of water. When you have the consistency that you'd like, add a tiny bit of butter to the sauce, whisk it in. This will make the sauce much more velvety and rich. Add some fresh cracked pepper, Turn the heat way down and add all the garnish and meat back into the pot. So at this stage, we just want to keep it warm, and we don't want to overcook anything. So we're just checking the consistency of the sauce. It's perfect. It's not too heavy. It just coats all of the garnish, all of the meat perfectly. This smells absolutely amazing. The kitchen is full of wonderful smells right now. So to serve, simply arrange the garnish and meat and pour the sauce over top like so. For me, the sauce is the star of this dish, so I like to put a little bit extra than maybe other people. Some fresh herbs, some fresh cracked pepper. Serve with roast potatoes, vegetables, even pasta. Or serve it more like a stew like this. This goes with just about anything. Simple, rustic, delicious. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you enjoy our content, consider supporting us on Patreon, the link is below. If you want further detail on how to break down a whole chicken, click the box on the left. If you want more information on how to make a bouquet garni, click the box on the right. Put your questions or comments down below. I will address them as soon as possible. And as always, happy cooking!